Hello, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Pound Crypto. Okay, here we are again, and today we're going to talk about crypto-only laptop Windows reinstall. Why you should do it, how to do it with pictures. And let's start with the why and with the whole reason for the crypto laptop at all. We're going to bring up the video. This is my old series, free part. It describes in great detail on why you need a crypto laptop, who is it for, which one to get, and so on. Which show OS versions. Hello in the chat as well. And we're gonna find this link in the description. You can watch the videos. They're very detailed, as I said. And wow, I'm a little bit stumped now. Wait. And all the links that are gonna be talked about will also be in the description. So the very first thing is, why would you need to reinstall Windows at all? Just to cover it real quick. And that is because you don't want any bloatware, you don't want any spyware, and you want a clean installation of your Windows to be on your crypto-only laptop. So now you have to find out for yourself, how do I reinstall it, and what do I need for it? Hey, welcome back, Logi. So, and the very first thing you're gonna need is a USB key, just like this one. Any will do. So this one is 32 gigabyte, but any USB key above 8 gigabyte will do it. Some of the like smaller ones, like these guys here, they are only 4 gigabytes, so those will not be sufficient, but any others do. And I think on Amazon nowadays, they don't even sell the 8 gigabytes. Usually the 32 or 62 gigabytes are actually the cheapest one to get, so it doesn't really matter which one you get, just get any. So, and then I'm gonna bring up the stream again. Then it's time to create the installation media for Windows. And there you have, actually, let me link this one in the chat so you have it just in case. And then from Microsoft, you have this website here for the major Windows versions 7, 8.1, and you probably can see it, 10 and 11. They will allow you to download a very small program that's called the Media Creation Tool. And it will basically redirect you here. The current version is 22H2. It will create the Windows 10 installation media. And if you click here, download, it's just gonna download it. You can execute it. And it will start the process of either upgrading your Windows or allowing you to download Windows and then put it onto the USB stick. You have to be careful, though, with the USB stick because it will be wiped during the process. So it has to be either a new one or something that you don't use, right? So an empty one. It's basically just creating an ISO file. You can also do it with a DVD, but I guess nobody is doing that nowadays anymore. So I think we can, we don't have to color that. Now, if you are getting a laptop for your crypto-only laptop and you're not using a desktop, you might buy one that has already Windows pre-installed. And for that one, you get a product key. That product key is usually somewhat hidden, and it depends on the manufacturer where it is hidden. So it can be only OEM version and be in the BIOS. It can be only in an installation. It can be on the box of the product, of the case, of the laptop case, or it can be in a little booklet that is sent with the with the laptop. So here it can be, see, on the box of the Windows installation box, if you bought it separately. And you can also find it if you bought it online from any third-party retailer, be it like Amazon, maybe you bought it on the Microsoft Store, or maybe from a like key reseller site. You will have the key usually in the options there. So on Microsoft, for example, it's at downloads and then product keys, and in your Amazon account there is a software download option, and there you will also have your key. And this MSDN, probably nobody uses that anymore, but on the MSDN platform you can also find your key. Now, there are additional ways if you do not find your key right away, if it's not on the box, if it's not anywhere where you can, in a booklet, or in your, if you don't have the Windows box exactly, you can still extract that key from the current installation that you have. And this works on your normal Windows machine, and it also works on laptops. And there are multiple ways to extract that key. This is the first one, using a command prompt. Basically, you open your command line as an administrator, and then you run this special command here, vimc path software licensing service get OA free original product key. But this only works if it's actually stored in the BIOS. So if you have one of those older models, older laptops, and you had it like installed for forever, or if it's even if it's one of the newer laptops, and it might not support this. And most machines that are normal PCs, they also do not support this option because it's just not stored in the BIOS. For some it will work though, and I will also give you this link in case you want to check it, but it's also in the description. So the other way to get it is the PowerShell. It's a similar command, but it does the same thing. It just extracts from the BIOS. And then here you see it's the PowerShell. This is the command, PowerShell get VMI object. You query, and then you can see it's the same OA free original product key. So it's just reading the same data. This is the example. So you write it down, obviously. And in the registry, if you're lucky, you might be able to extract it, but some Windows actually don't allow you to look for the product key. So it's not saved in some of the newer Windows versions openly, so it cannot be easily extracted. And then where is it? Software protection, and then backup product key default. This is where you would find it. You can just check the link if you want the details and want to try this. But there is an additional way, and that is the near software. This guy is doing a lot, and I've used multiple software from this one. He's creating a lot of like little tools, gadgets, helpful Windows things that help you organize or move things and expand the capability of Windows. And one of those tools is the Proto Key. Current version is 1.97. Basically, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Basically, it's just a little a little interface that helps you read out the product key and in the ID as the ID, and also the human readable product key. So that way you can wipe your Windows, you can wipe your laptop, and then input it during the new installation, so you can reactivate Windows again. Though be advised that this program will get flagged as a virus, although it's completely safe. So you can actually, I think that was, let me check. Was that Malwarebytes? I think Malwarebytes was flagging it as a virus, and there is multiple topics about that. Let me check that. I think that was this one. Up. Prudo key from Nearsoft, not a virus or PHP. Yeah, here this is all from 2016, and they're just categorizing it as POP. But hey, it is what it is. But it's a safe, easy, small to use program. And if all the other methods of trying to extract the key do not work for you, you can use the Nearsoft Prudo key software. I'll drop it in the chat as well. And we have a question. Do you consider if it's okay to install the free version of Windows? Yeah, you can. You can just run it in the free version. You'll have limited functions though. So you will have the activate Windows at the bottom, and you won't be able to do all the things like using the BitLocker system. So if you for example do have a Windows 10 Pro or Windows 11 Pro key, and you want to use the encryption for your hard drive and for USB keys potentially that have critical data on them, then you need to have a license that's activated and actually a Pro license. So you need to think, is it something that I want to use in advance? But for just the normal use, yeah, you can get away with using the free version. So now let's go to the installation part. So once you have downloaded the software, the Windows Media Creation Software version 22H2, you will basically get these installation screens here. You just go through them. I'm gonna go through them here. So you have the media creation tool, you run it, you get the license agreement request. It's all pretty easy to do. Just go through it, you click your way through it, and it's really easy. Even if you have never done an installation, it's nothing to be concerned about. It's nothing to fear. You just basically click through and follow the on-screen instruction as they come. So in this one, we select create installation media, USB flash drive. That's what I showed you earlier. You get just your USB drive. You select your type of installation. In this case, it's English, Windows 10, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. In this case, it's English, Windows 10, and 64 bits. And then you select the USB flash drive. The ISO file, it's if you install it on a secondary drive and then run it from that drive, but I would just do it on a USB. Everybody usually has a USB around, and they're really cheap. You can just buy them anywhere, even at like, I don't know, any store that is around your corner, any small, I don't know, 7-Eleven, Lidl, whatever is around you, Aldi, they all have USB drives. So you select obviously the correct USB drive. Please be careful. If you're doing the media creation on your main PC, do not select the wrong drive. Double and triple check, because as I said before, the drive is completely wiped. So if you do that like on one of your, I don't know, personal drives, or delete your photos, or do it on your normal Windows drive, you will crash your PC. Everything will be lost. So make sure you select the correct USB drive when you do that. And then you just boot it from the USB drive to do the installation of Windows. This is also pretty easy, but on laptops, there are different ways to get to the installation, because you need to change the behavior of launching Windows. In the BIOS, there is an option to boot from your USB drive, because usually what happens is you press the start button or the on button, and then it will automatically look for your hard drive first, then it will look for any USB drives. And you need to change that setting so that it searches for the USB drives first. So this is an example on Gigabyte. You go into your BIOS, and how you get into the BIOS also depends on the make of your machine. For most of the machines, it will be F2, F10, or the deletion key. So when you shut down the PC and then it's starting up again, you just constantly press those three keys on your keyboard: F2, F10, delete, and it will catch most of the BIOS versions. And I think there was a list here. Yeah, so for Acer and Asus is F2 or delete, then F2. Oh, this one, Dell has even F12. Okay. But if you cannot start it, you can just easily search for the make and the version of your laptop, and then you will find which key it is. Or it is also in the handbook that comes with the laptops. If you don't have it, you find it online though. So there's different kinds. Lenovo ThinkPads, like Enter and F1. F1, F2, function F2. Oh yeah, so some laptops actually have the F keys, and then there is a function. So they have in the top row, they have something like change lighting, on, off, sound on, off, brighter, less bright, and so on. So if you have one of those laptops, you have to press the function key and then the F2 key, for example, wherever it is. Otherwise, it will be not recognized. It will not be recognized during the boot of the BIOS. But yeah, so here's an example. You can see boot option 3, 4, 5, 6, and the first one is the UEFI. This would be the small USB hard drive, and you're gonna change that to the top priority so that it's boot option number 1. Here you can see. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. So before it was number 3H here, and we moved it up to number 1. You save that, and you reboot your PC again, and then with the USB drive inside the slot, it will then start up the Windows installation. This is also very easy to go through. You might be overwhelmed the first time you do it, but it's really easy. Like you just click through, you select what you want, like, hey, do I want this option? Do I want that option? And it's guiding you through the process. I've done like hundreds, probably, did I thousands? No, hundreds of installations of Windows, and it's a breeze nowadays. Back in the day, it was more of a hassle, but now you're done in like 10 minutes or so, and you let it run for another 20-30 minutes so that it actually copies all the data and does its thing. You're just waiting in front of it, basically. So here you select the language, the keyboard type, and so on. And there are a few more options if you do the repair. This can also be used as a repair stick, by the way. And the Windows activation, this is why we saved the key earlier. So when you do not enter anything here, or if you enter the general OEM key, you will have an unactivated Windows, but that's fine. It will still install. So even if you didn't prepare the Windows key in advance, you can then input it later on after you have installed. You will just have the basic unactivated Windows installation, but it doesn't really matter. So, and after that, yeah, you say what type of installation, and that's it. And this is also what your BIOS might look like. This is an older version. You can see first boot device, removable device. That would be your USB key. And the other one, this is another USB and a type CD-ROM. And then there is another example that I found here. This is the boot option from a Republic of Gamers, ROG motherboard. You can see boot option 1, and then you select which one it is. This is the standard one, Windows Boot Manager. This would launch your normal Windows, but you just want to change it to whatever your USB key is. Does this one have a USB key? It's like DVD RAM. No, but usually your USB key would show up here if it's plugged in, and then it says something like, what is this one? USB Data Traveler G3 or whatever, 32 gigabytes, and then it will just show up in the menu. Yeah. And easy as that. your installation is done. We have another question. Logitech says, thanks for the tips. And Noobster question. If your factory reset Windows and your hard drive, you can guarantee no viruses, keyloggers, dangerous programs, even if that computer had previous viruses, as an example. Yes, mostly. So the general viruses that are keyloggers and normal malware, they will only be stored on your hard drive, and that is whenever Windows launches, it will also load up and load the viruses and the malware usually into the RAM, into the current running programs. They usually infest themselves, so they are run at startup, but they're still normal programs. There is a few exceptions, and those are boot viruses. Those are harder to remove because they infest the bootable read-only no, not read-only, the bootable memory of the BIOS, and then there are rootkits, and those are really hard to remove. Usually you need to like flash the BIOS and so on, but those are super rare and they're really hard to get. Usually if you buy a new laptop or any new system, the only thing you have to contest with is bloatware and spyware. So those are the like advertisements. There is maybe a suite installed that's collecting your data. There is I don't know, some software that's using your RAM, and I don't know, maybe some browsers and stuff. So you remove those so that you don't get any leaks, and that those cannot be exploited by other malware. That's the main concern that you have. If you, for some reason, have a virus that's like infesting your boot sector and your BIOS, if you somehow get a rootkit, you would know usually, because they destroy everything and just, I don't know, hold your laptop hostage, and you need to insert Bitcoin to unlock it. There is like all kinds of additional scams that are part in that. But usually if you just have a normal Windows installation, you buy a new laptop, there is nothing really on it. So this is just an extra cautionary step that you do to remove all the bloatware and all the spyware. Yeah. And that was it. Quick shout out. Tomorrow I will be also doing a live stream on the Discord Syndicate realm. And I will be talking about IPFS, all the news around that, tech. I will do support, answer questions and so on, Q&A, anything IPFS and that technology. And that's it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Hope it helped you. Links in the description. And behold my stuff. Check out my Twitter, my Telegram, my Instagram. Links are in the description. If you want to book a consult service, or if you just want to meet me, have a 15-minute free consult session, check it out. There is a booking in the description as well. Check out my Etsy store. You can make a really cool backup system for your crypto. You stamp your seed phrases into metal, and this way they are protected from fire, from earthquake, from water, from corrosion, anything that usually destroys and gets you wrecked in crypto because you lose your keys. And the link for that is also in the description. That's it for today. Thanks, and see you next time.